Third, besides, I've just made arrangements with Dr. Cecily to be christened at 5:45 under the name of Ernest.
Well, will you go if I change my clothes?
Yes, if you're not wrong. I think it has been a great success. I'm in love with Cecily, and that is everything. I must see her before I go and make arrangements. Rather that way. Oh, there she is.
I nearly came back to order the roses. I thought you were here with Uncle Jack.
Oh, he's going to order the dog cart for me.
Is he going to take you for a nice drive?
He's going to send me away.
Then, have we got to part?
I'm afraid so. It's very painful parting.
It is always painful to part from people whom one has known for a very brief space of time.
Thank you.
The dog cart is at the door, sir.
It can wait, Merriman, for 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yes, miss.
I hope, Cecily, I shall not offend you if I state that you seem to me to be the visible personification of absolute perfection.
I think your frankness is a great credit, Ernest. If you allow me, I will copy your remarks into my diary.
Oh, do you really keep a diary? I'd give anything to look at it. May I?
Oh, no. You see, it is simply very young girls who record their own thoughts and impressions, and consequently meant for publication. But pray, Ernest, don't stop. I am quite ready for more. Oh, don't cough, Ernest. When one is dictating, one should speak fluently and not cough. Besides, I don't know how to spell cough.
Cecily, ever since I was looked upon a wonderful and incomparable beauty, I dared to love you wildly, passionately, hopelessly.
I don't think that you should tell me that you love me wildly, passionately, hopelessly. Hopelessly doesn't seem to make much sense, does it?
Cecily,
The dog cart is waiting, sir.
tell it to come around next week at the same hour.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Jack would be much annoyed if he knew you were staying on till next week at the same hour.
I don't care about Jack. I love you, Cecily. You will marry me, won't you?
You silly boy. Of course. We've been engaged for the last 3 months.
For the last 3 months?
It will be exactly 3 months on Thursday.
But how did we become engaged?
Well, ever since dear Uncle Jack first confessed to us that he had a younger brother who was very weak and bad, you, of course, have formed the chief topic of conversation between myself and Miss Prison. I dare say it was foolish of me, but I fell in love with you, Ernest.
Oh, darling. But when was the engagement actually settled?
On the 14th of February last. After a long struggle with myself, I accepted you. The next day, I bought this little ring in a name.
Did I give you this? It's very pretty, isn't it?
Oh yes, you've wonderfully good taste, Ernest. And this is the box in which I keep all your dear letters.
My letters? But my dear child, I haven't written you any letters.
Oh, you need hardly remind me of that, Ernest. I remember only too well that I was supposed to write 2 letters for you. I wrote always 3 times a week.
Oh, do let me read them, Cecily.
Oh, I couldn't possibly. The 3 you wrote me after I had broken off the engagement are so beautiful that even now I can hardly read them without crying a little.
But was our engagement even broken off?
Of course it was. On the 2nd of last March. You can see the entry if you like. Today, I broke off my engagement with Ernest. I feel it is better to do so. The weather still continues charming.
But why did you break it off? What had I done?
It would hardly have been a really serious engagement if it hadn't been broken off at least once. But I forgave you before the week was out.
What a perfect angel you are, Cecily.
You, dear romantic boy. I hope your hair occurs naturally, does it?
Yes, darling. With a little help from others.
I'm so glad.
Cecily, you will never break off our engagement again.
I don't think I could break it off now that I've actually met you. Besides, of course, there is the question of the name.
Oh, of course, my name.
You must not laugh at me, darling, but it had always been a dream of mine to love someone whose name was Ernest. There is something in that name that seems to inspire confidence.
But my sweet, lovely little darling, do you mean to say that you couldn't love me if I had some other name?
What name?
Or a name like Algernon, for instance?
But I don't like the name of Algernon.
But my sweet, lovely little darling, I really can't see why you should object to the name of Algernon. It is not at all a bad name. In fact, it is rather an aristocratic name. But seriously, Cecily, if my name was Algernon, couldn't you love me?
I might respect you, Ernest. I might admire your character, but I should not be able to give you my attention.
Cecily, I must see you after an most important christening, and I meant a most important business. I shan't be away more than half an hour.
Considering that we have been engaged since you were 14, and that I only met you today for the first time, well, I think it is rather hard that you should leave me for so long at Clarendon, half an hour. Couldn't you make it 20 minutes?
I'll be back in no time.
What an impetuous boy he is. I love to see you so much. I must enter his proposal in my diary.
Miss Fairfax has just called to see Mr. Wapping on very important business, Miss Fairfax states.
Isn't Mr. Wapping in his library?
Mr. Wapping went over in the direction of the rectory, miss, some time ago.
Pray ask the lady to come out here. Mr. Wapping is sure to be back soon. And you can bring tea.
Yes, miss.
I suppose one of the many good elderly women who are associated with Uncle Jack, some of his philanthropic work in London.
Miss Fairfax.
Pray, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Cecily Cardew.
Cecily Cardew? What a very sweet name. Something tells me that we are going to be great friends.
How nice of you to like me so much after we've known each other for such a short time. But pray, sit down.
I may call you Cecily, may I not?
Oh, with pleasure.
And you will always call me Gwendolen, won't you?
If you wish, then that is all settled. I hope so.
Perhaps this might be a favorable opportunity for my mentioning who I am. My father is Lord Bracknell. You have never heard of it, I suppose?
I don't think so.
Outside the family circle, I'm glad to say, Papa is